really important to us that our retreats feel energizing, memorable for every single client, which is why we have specific infrastructure and agendas for each workshop and each day. We personalize every retreat for each client, so I'm going to take some time today just to overview the 7 workshops that we offer and the infrastructure of our couples retreats. For both our all-inclusive luxury private retreats in Oahu, Hawaii, which is also where our home office is. In addition to, this applies to also our semi-private retreats that we offer throughout the year on various beaches across the mainland. So specifically, we are looking to create a balance each day of 4 hours of personalized couples therapy, which is about 2 workshops, and that's equivalent to 6 months to a year of traditional therapy. So this is like immersive, intensive, amazing work that we're doing. And then after each day, the 2 workshops that we complete, it's followed by really fun, connective vacation excursions to kind of wrap up your day in a playful way. We start with a really purposeful, growth-oriented workshop in the morning, break for lunch, and then wrap up your experience with the excursion in the evening before dinner. It's built that way for rapid growth with your partner or partners, without that really heavy mood drop that most of us feel after like a weekend seminar. Traditional therapy can be a little bit heavy and slow in progress, so this is opportunistic for those of you who are wanting to really put your all in for a chunk of time and get the most out of the experience. Okay, so we also include, very purposefully, a beautiful recommitment ceremony on the beach at the end of the retreat week. And this is interwoven with bonding rituals. We take photography for you so that you don't have to worry about saving these moments for later. It's a really beautiful experience that we craft for you to kind of wrap up the week and celebrate all that you've done. Again, we offer 7 workshops in total, about 2 hours-ish each. They include Gottman's clinical stage of reattachment, which is the 3rd phase of his repair process. And this process is heavily focused on enhancing physical and sexual intimacy within the relationship. So re-engaging those intimacy forms that tend to dissolve or disconnect as a secondary symptom from betrayal or pain in the relationship. This again is the 3rd and final repair phase. So ideally we are coming into the retreat experience already having completed some of that work. That's something that we'll go over in our orientation call with you. We also host workshops on meditative movement and mindfulness, arousal amplification, holistic health for individual wellness, introduction to kink, which is so much fun, libido alignment and rejuvenation, somatic body work, and tantra. So we incorporate a lot of like the tantric breath work and how to get into that flow state, which is kind of cool for you to take home. Those are the 7, and then of course we have the recommitment ceremony on the beach with the waves crashing at your feet. It's personal, it's beautiful. We encourage every partner throughout the week to be compiling their recommitment and love affirmation letters that you'll privately share with one another. So these specific topics and workshops were chosen by me very intentionally. As a clinician, I work with so many different couples, and these are the most prominent sources of disconnection after a lot of the foundational work has already been completed. So when I created this retreat, it was with the intention to build upon my Flow program, which is a 90-day online program for relationship reconnection and repair, which covers the first 2 phases of Gottman's repair process. Our retreats, so that builds upon the foundation of psychological, creative, social, emotional, and intellectual intimacy. Our retreats are built as the advanced level to that online program. So if you haven't taken that program yet, it's absolutely fine. We do invite couples onto the retreat who has done their own work prior to that. We need that foundation set of awareness and health orientation. Those are the key components for the couples that we invite onto the retreat. This enhances communication and prioritizes experiential, physical, sexual, and emotional intimacy building for every single couple if we're all starting from that foundation. Every workshop is super interactive. So this isn't just me standing up at a podium and teaching theory all day long, which would be incredibly boring. We practice as a group, as individuals. I'll walk around and we can personalize what's working for you, what's not working for you, what your questions are. So these are practical techniques and exercises so that you can leave the retreat week a totally different and empowered coupledom than you first came. That's the entire purpose of this experience for you. You can expect many valuable giveaways and gifts throughout the process. And a really good question that I receive very frequently is, how do you help the couples enhance physical and sexual intimacy in a group setting in a way that is appropriate and still clinical? The workshops that focus on physical and sexual intimacy in a healthy and appropriate way are arousal amplification, introduction to kink, somatic bodywork, and libido rejuvenation. All of those workshops integrate physical affection, sexual intimacy, and how to amplify those within your relationship from a clinical practice perspective. The workshops, the clients can expect to learn science behind aphrodisiacs like cacao, vanilla, damiana, hibiscus, beets. It's really interactive, so you're going to get a chance to try some of these, experience them yourself. I will also be testing for nitric oxide and pH balance in your bloodstream, just so that we can evaluate your body's baseline and what may be negatively impacting overall libido. I bring the testing strip, so you don't have to worry about all that. We'll figure it out together. All sexes, all genders are welcome here. This is an open, sex-positive, safe space, which is what allows us to jump into the exploration and playfulness of introduction to kink, right? In this workshop, clients can expect to learn about sensations that amplify your sensuality and how you can communicate those wants and needs to each other in a really respectful, appropriately boundaried way, so that there are no safety or consent issues. Clients will individually complete quizzes to identify each of your highest rated roles of interest in play, in physical play with one another. So I will mediate those sometimes awkward but very helpful conversations between partners. Embracing playfulness and passion within your sexual self is so critical to personal alignment. We dive straight into relational contracting, expect to learn tantric breathwork techniques to build the heat in the body, and I teach you how to synchronize your nervous system with your partners for the ultimate intimacy and connection, right? How to communicate those desired touches in non-sexual, sensual ways, right? And one of the interactive exercises that we can try that out in this space is through physical, non-sexual partner massages, right? So I will teach about your zones, your bodily responses, some of the sensory stimuli thresholds that each of you need and how we can meet them. In addition to teaching about circadian rhythms and how they impact your relationship, how to tap into flow state energetically with one another. There's so much to do and so much to learn. I know that this is a lot of information. We give so much and so many resources and gifts to take home. Before we wrap up the video, I know that you're probably wondering about experiential and emotional intimacy. Most of these forms of intimacy get fulfilled through the excursions, right? Emotional intimacy is fulfilled by the remaining 3 workshops. So the remaining 3 are holistic health, where we learn about 7 core chemicals of arousal or connection and touch, with a dabbling of functional medicine approaches to balance some of these out. You will learn about how to emotionally attune to your partner and increase tolerance to turn toward one another rather than away. We cover the 4 S's of secure attachment: safe, seen, soothed, and secure. And you will also learn a whole lot about the 8 forms of intimacy, and the priority that each of you have as partners, and how we can ensure those needs are being met in a compatible way. We then get into mind-body connection and breath work, so exercises that generate and circulate energy through the pelvic floor to onset physiological arousal on demand, which is really cool. You'll practice mindfulness throughout the retreat, throughout all of these workshops for maximum fulfillment. This truly is a one-of-a-kind retreat experience. When you compare to all of the other ones around the world, we balance growth and play because there's so much value in both. And it's really, really critical that when working with some of these complex relational and sexual issues, you find a retreat provider who is well qualified, legitimately licensed, so that you can trust their process and step into vulnerability with them. And that absolutely is the case here. We are here for you. This is our passion and our purpose. We love what we do, and we're so excited to offer this to many more couples around the world. If you have any other questions or you're ready to sign up for our next retreat, contact us at 215-501-7452 or at help@bathurstfamilytherapy.com. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. My handle is phd.relationship.expert. Thanks.